Hi, my name is Sean, and I'm actually making a new series alongside my long form podcast. My new series is going to be titled "Come On, Man, That's a Conspiracy Theory." And because, we're just a bunch of conspiracy theorists, there's no basis or foundation for anything we're saying, right? So, come on, man, that's a conspiracy theory. I'm just going to play along with this whole concept of conspiracy theory. Let's go ahead and lean into that a little bit. So I'm going to actually do a deep dive, somewhat of a deep dive on what I mentioned in my first podcast. And I mentioned you should really look up the Great Reset. So I said, you know what? Why don't I actually just share off my screen and go through various proofs and evidences to see if that's actually, is that something legitimate? Is there really such thing as a Great Reset, right? And is there something that's revolving around that is causing us to go further and further more into this accelerated concept of the Great Reset, which is a very aggressive agenda, by the way. It's a stated goal, 2030. And so, first and foremost, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, tap the notification bell, comment down below if you have something that you want me to do a deep dive on. Please let me know. I will give me some comments down. Whoever likes a particular comment the most, I'm going to try to see if I can go ahead and produce some videos based on what the people are wanting, right? Give the people what they want, so to say. So I'm going to start, and also one more thing, because of the censorship, the rampant censorship, I'm also going to be posting all of my videos on an alternative platform, because we got to play four-dimensional chess here. We got to play four-dimensional chess. We know that they're trying to block us and prevent us from understanding what's actually happening, right? So the powers that be are going to try to censor, but you know what? We got to play. We got to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps ahead, knowing that these censorship mechanisms are in place. So I'm gonna, in the link in the description, I'm going to be putting in my BitChute account. BitChute is an alternative platform that does not censor at the levels of which YouTube does, and various other platforms are doing as well. Facebook. So I'm going to put all of my videos on BitChute, BitChute. I'm going to put the link also in the description down below, so you can go ahead and bookmark that as well in case those are being censored here on YouTube. There's always going to be an alternative location where they're going to be located at, and if it ramps up even more, I'll give you other alternative locations where I'll also be placing my videos, because the truth has to get out, right? This is the bottom line. So let's deep dive on the Great Reset now. So I'm going to go ahead and, if you see here, I've already typed in the Great Reset. The Great Reset. I'll do it just for giggles here. What do we get? Oh, okay. First link. Okay, no fact check page. Okay, the very first link. I mean, our master Google says this is the most high priority link when it comes to the Great Reset. This is the #1 search result. So what is that? Let's click on it. It's called weforum.org. Whose website is this? Oh, it's the World Economic Forum's website. Okay, great. There is a Great Reset site called the hosted by the World Economic Forum. Okay, cool. What does it say here? There is an urgent need for global stakeholders to cooperate in simultaneously managing the direct consequences of the COVID-19 crisis. To improve the state of the World Economic Forum is starting the Great Reset Initiative. Okay, so there's some smoke to this fire. There is a World Economic Forum and the Great Reset. Okay, this is their website. This is the official website of the World Economic Forum and the Great Reset. Cool. All right, so let me type in the Great Reset wiki. Great Reset wiki. The World Economic Forum, second link. Let's go to the Wikipedia page. The World Economic Forum, WEF, is based in Cologne, Geneva Canton, Switzerland, is an international NGO and founded on the 24th of January, 1971 by Klaus Schwab. Remember that face. And It is called the Davos Group because the World Economic Forum is mostly known for its annual meeting at the end of January in Davos, Switzerland, Eastern Alps region of Switzerland. Okay, interesting. So there is such thing called the Davos Group. And there's the Davos Group is because it's the World Economic Forum hosting in Davos, Switzerland. And let's also take a look at something else. Let me type in the Great Reset. And I want to click on this picture here. I'm curious where it's hosted at. So Google Images. It's being hosted by the World Economic Forum. Oh, there's a copyright there too. Look, World Economic. So this picture is actually has some significance to the Great Reset because it's done by those who are actually creating this entire agenda. All right, perfect. Let's take a quick look here. There is a infographic here that says the Great Reset and various verticals that are associated with it. Let's take a look at some of the names. Taxation, blockchain, Fourth Industrial Revolution. By the way, just to also let you know, the World Economic Forum, the Davos Group, the Great Reset has multiple words or names that you can also say that are used in conjunction, right? World Economic Forum, the Fourth Industrial Revolution, the UN 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda. It's a 2030 agenda. And also, and the Great Reset. So for right now, let's focus in on this infographic. So we got digital identity, drones, 5G. Oh, come on, man. That's a conspiracy theory. Internet governance, the ocean, COVID-19 is part of the Great Reset? Come on, man. That's a conspiracy theory. Biodiversity, air pollution. All right. Forest justice, gender parity, LGBT inclusion. Interesting. This is all part of the Great Reset. Interesting. These are the various different verticals that is on their stated website. I'm just the messenger here. Let's go to YouTube and let's type in the Great Reset. Where do we get? We get various videos. Let me check out the Great Reset launch highlights. This was about a year ago when they launched the Great Reset before us.
Now is the historical moment, the time, not only to fight the real virus, but to shape the system.
We have a unique but rapidly shrinking window of opportunity to learn lessons and reset ourselves on a more sustainable path. It is an opportunity we have never had before and may never have again. So we must use all the levers we have at our disposal, knowing that each and every one of us has a vital role to play.
Now is the time to think what history would say about this crisis. And now is the time for all of us to define our own role. What is it that would make it so that history would look at this crisis as the great opportunity for reset?
The Great Reset is a welcome recognition that this human tragedy must be a wake-up call. It is imperative that we reimagine, rebuild, redesign, reinvigorate and rebalance our world. Rebalancing investment, harnessing science and technology, and advancing the transition to net zero emissions, all elements of the Great Reset, are fundamental to building the future we need.
The world's problems fit on three sides.
Well, let me go a little bit further down here, and let's hear the man himself, Klaus Schwab.
We will now start a quite high number of task forces to look at all the different issues, and we will present all those ideas to the people assembled in Davos. But at the same time, we will make Davos very different, very open, to ensure that we do not fall back to old recipes, but that we really look at forward-oriented solutions.
Young entrepreneurs, especially from the
Interesting. Okay. All right. There's this guy over here I saw. He's got an interesting pin on his... Do you see that little pin on his shirt? Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see it.
And we're seeing firms that behave responsibly in that.
Do you see that little rainbow, circular rainbow pin? All right. I want you to remember that circular rainbow pin that he has. Just the shape and the design of it. I'm segueing now to where? The UN 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda. Oh. So if you type in United Nations 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda PDF, you'll get the sustainabledevelopment.un.org. It's the United Nations website. Ah, okay. Oh. Transforming Our World, the Agenda 2030, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right. This is a 41-page document. I would highly suggest you take a look at this. It's not that massive of a document. Can be read pretty quickly. I would highly suggest you see the areas they're targeting. Very, very specific areas. I mean, they're not even going to leave the oceans alone. I'm just going to put it that way. Every nook and cranny on the earth is going to be included in this Great Reset. And you'll see what I'm talking about as you go. And there's going to be, there's a beautiful surface area reason as to why they're doing it. Oh my God, they're doing such great work. But then comes behind that taxation, carbon tax. They did mention taxation, by the way, didn't they? So carbon taxing, universal basic income, because under the guise of keeping removing poverty, which is a great thing, by the way, but that removing the poverty will be done at the expense of AI that's going to be coming in, and there's going to be a tax that's going to be levied to corporations that are going to be participating in artificial intelligence. So there'll be a robot tax. That robot tax will be a means of funneling in money towards the universal basic income that will basically will essentially keep people at around the poverty line. All right. Or maybe even below that. They'll just move the bar, while inflation is going crazy right now. We're getting towards hyperinflation, by the way. But nonetheless, 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda, highly suggest you read that. And this agenda piggybacks over another agenda, which is Agenda 21. Agenda 21 PDF. All right, Agenda 21. It was a United Nations conference on environmental and development. Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, from 3 through the 14th, June 1992. Who was the president of the United States at that time? George H.W. Bush. Well. A United Nations, a new world order. Do y'all remember when he said that? Let me refresh your memory.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
UN's founders. A United Nations. United Nations. World Economic Forum. Davos Group. United Nations. 2030 Agenda. COVID crisis. Are we connecting the dots here? Are you starting to see what I'm seeing? All right. Well, come on, man. That's just a conspiracy theory, though. You can't make this stuff up, man. You just can't make it up. There's a video that came out in 2016 by the World Economic Forum. It had 8 predictions for the world in 2030. Let's take a look. Number 1, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Well, there's a lot of people that own homes, cars, but you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Ownership is such an honor. Why would they want to take that away? Drones. The US won't be the world's leading superpower? They're already telegraphing that move? No wonder there's so many issues in the United States right now. Maybe this is all a predetermined collapse. Because after all, the US won't be the world's leading superpower by 2030, according to them. A handful of countries will dominate. Let me guess. The US will have to, according to their goals and objectives, and this is why we are here, to ensure that this does not happen, right? We have to get the word out. A handful of countries will dominate. America is no longer at the top. America has to collapse to a degree to where they're on equal playing field with a bunch of other countries. Who would those countries possibly be? Let's take a look. You got, obviously there's going to be the United States is still going to be there. They're not going away. But the strength of the United States government is not going to be with the people at that point. It'll be with just the government. Because the true strength of the United States of America is with what? It's with the people. But at this point, they don't want a United States that's of and for the people. So there's going to be the United States still going to be there, but obviously taking a couple of 2 or 3 notches down to be in line with the United Kingdom. Obviously, China is the one who's really going to become the new king, with India following in a close second. To keep tabs on China, by the way. The evils of the world, they don't even trust each other. Okay, let's put it that way. They play chess too. Even while they're propping up other countries and collapsing others, they have their checks and balances in place. Let's see what else. You'll eat much less meat? Oh yeah, I forgot the cows. They flatulate so much. It introduces more carbon emissions, right? Like the Lord couldn't create the world big enough for us and the animals. Can't make this stuff up. Oh. You'll eat meat like an occasional treat, not a staple for the good of the environment, and our health. So meat is not going to be your normal diet anymore. It'll be like a treat, maybe on a birthday. These are all in documents, by the way. A billion people will be displaced by climate change. Isn't it interesting? There's a lot of interesting illegal immigration activities coming into the United States at the moment. There's a term for that. It's called replacement migration. Replacement migration. Should look that one up. Polluters will have to pay to emit carbon dioxide. Well, I guess us breathing, we're going to have to pay for that, right? Because we're just alive and we're emitting carbon dioxide. cars, which they're going to get rid of, the gasoline ones. That's also part of the agenda. Mars. Joe Rogan's going to like that one. And that's it. So you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. And packages will be delivered by drones. That's, see, the robot world, as I'm saying. Artificial intelligence. That's going to be the new staple. There are many verticals. I would highly suggest you do your own research even more. I'm just trying to show the proofs, show the points, show the connection points, and let you determine that, do you think this is a cause for concern? Because this is a cause for concern. There's a lot of things on surface. Climate change, climate change, climate change. And we should take care of our Earth. I mean, let's try to do that anyways. But they're going to shove this climate change down our throat. On the backside is what? Taxation. What level of taxation are they going to put on us? And what's the scope going to be? For us to be alive, is that going to be a carbon tax? To breathe? They're going to charge us to breathe in air and exhale? They're going to charge us to exhale. Seriously? Because that's going to come, by the way. Of course, everything you purchase, there's a card that just came out. It was like it's called like a Visa Black card, okay? And inside the transactions, every time you swipe the card, this new card, it's going to have each line item. It's going to give you a carbon emissions amount of carbon emissions per line item that each line item has used. So you can only make certain amount of purchases after a while. That's coming. This is part of the 2030 agenda. There's very many, as you saw, there was a huge circle with all these verticals. There's a lot of verticals in there, right? So there you go. I'm going to be honest with you. Come on, man. This is just a conspiracy, right? Stay tuned for the next one.